Hello. Hey,
Hello,
there's the guy.
hello.
Look at him. How's it going, buddy?
Doing all right. Drinking some things in
Nice.
my leaf cup.
Beautiful. You're all used to the time zones and everything now?
I never had a time zone. I never really get the old what do you call it?
Jet lag.
I never get the jet lag coming west because you just gain so much. Like there was like a day or two where I was like an hour. I needed a little nap. But honestly, like you're coming from that far east to west, it's like I'm landing at like 11 o'clock in the morning or noon.
Yeah.
So I
See that?
just stay up all day and then
Yeah.
and
That
then
kind of stuff would play havoc with my poop schedule, my friend.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
it
wow.
did.
Oh,
Thankfully,
gee.
I'm on a great product called Eno Sups.
Okay,
Eno
great.
Sups
Good
does a
choice.
thing that does a thing and helps you with the other thing.
Good, good.
It's take 3 pills a day and then settle in.
Wow,
So
it's 3 pills a day. Jeez Louise, man. That's a lot of
it's a
pills.
thing. It's pretty rad. I gotta tell you,
Okay, cool. All right.
it's
Well,
pretty
switching
rad.
from poop to indie rock.
You're still quiet still.
I'm still
Gotta get up
quiet
in that.
still?
Yeah, you gotta get up on that mic, buddy. Come on, there we go.
Okay.
The soothing sounds of the machete
Hello.
voice. There we
Hi,
are.
everyone.
There we are.
Bring a little
Yes.
more volume then. Okay, checking my
Yeah, that's
pants.
good. Looking good. What's going on? Tell me a
Nothing.
story.
Brandon. Okay, so here's we go. So here's what's whoa. Okay, so in the studio, what we've been doing here, our latest project, just one of many though, is for an indie band that we're both big fans of because we both have great respect for the I guess he's the singer songwriter of the band, guitar player. I'm sure everybody maybe contributes to whatever they're
Garrington.
doing. Yeah,
Yes.
our good friend Gary Begner. So my latest project was for the band Elephant out of London, Ontario, and it was or it is it's a new T-shirt design. So you guys are gonna get a new look at it here before it's available. We got it. Oh yeah, there it is right there. Check that out, buddy.
Oh, look at that. Oh man, that's rad. Look at that.
Isn't that
How
rad?
evil
So
that
that's
elephant looks like.
decent, huh? Yeah. So he wanted an elephant, creepy
Decent.
elephant on a bunch of skulls. So there's four guys in the band. I put four skulls in there, and our colorist and our producer here, my lovely wife Lonnie, did the coloring and such. And
Mm-hmm.
so that this shirt will be available at their gig. They got a gig this Thursday. It's a pretty prominent gig with a Wilhelm Scream, and that's Thursday, February 16th at Rum Runners in London, Ontario, Canada. So if you see that T-shirt
London.
there, man, buy it up and say, "Dude, that's a Machete product. That's Machete Comics."
So
Yeah, there's
that's
the
gonna
gig. There's the
be
gig right there this Thursday. So this is just they got a whole bunch of gigs coming up, man. They're doing their tour because they're supporting some new music and such. So this one has the Anti Queens. Hey, I know the Anti Queens. I've done some shows with them. Brutal Youth and Elephant. And Willem Scream's going to be here in Kingston this weekend. I'll be down there checking that out. So if anybody's down at the Kingston Willem Scream show, and you see me, buy me a beer and say hi to me.
you
It's
couldn't
the
get
Pete.
elephant up here. They couldn't get
Hell,
elephant up here for it.
well, I guess not. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. Beats me. But D's band's on there. 47 Teeth.
Hmm.
So
Very
that'll
cool.
be
Look at you getting out
yeah.
of the
So
house.
yeah, well, I got to make an appearance here. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm on the board of live music here, so in Kingston. So I have to make an appearance, but not that I want to, but I do have to as well.
Sure.
It's just me, buddy. You know what? Again, turning 50, I discovering I don't really genuinely like a lot of people. Now, the guys that running the show, I really enjoy all them. I'm just talking like in general. I want to
Sure.
go out. I genuinely don't like a lot of people, and that's cool. It's not like I go hating people and disliking people looking for a fight. I'm just finding that the older I get, the more I'm falling into this little niche that it's either you fall into it or else I'm that old guy who's not going to talk to you. Hey man, it's not you, it's me. So that's Elephant there. What do you think of that? So let's check out a little clip of one of their videos we got here.
Absolutely. We got
This
that.
is
Let's
great too. I watch like yeah, we'll go ahead and I won't talk over top of it. We're just gonna watch a bit of it because I just want to talk about the band a bit more.
yeah.
Good quality here though, huh? Look at the I believe that's got to be like down. This has got to be London, where I lived for a
Yeah, it
while.
is. Totally.
Hold on, sorry.
What's going on? Okay, there's our
There's
bro right
Carrington.
there. Yeah, there's our brother.
Remember how hard it was to make a music video?
Yeah,
Now now it's like iPhones and let's go.
got it right. I love these downtown shots here. I think they're really cool. Not that the band isn't a bunch of rad dudes either, but I like this stuff. And again, I don't know, like, see, it's rock and roll to me, right?
Absolutely.
But I guess if you were technically to label it, would be punk pop.
Yeah, I think that's where they kind of go with it, but it's a pretty aggressive record. Like, I mean, they
Yeah.
had the EP and then they did the full record that Harry mastered, which sounds like the first one sounded fine, I'm just
Right.
saying, but now that Harry's jumped into the mix, it's really taken it up a notch. And there's all these little bits in that record that are like, wow. I bought it off the NFT thing that he did with Sing and off of
Nice.
all that. So I've actually bought the digital package of it. I got it on my phone, listened to it on the plane over to Middle East and everything. It's a great record.
That's awesome. Yeah, I just got it today. I like Shingles. Shingles is one
Yeah.
of my favorites.
Yeah, I checked it
All
out.
right.
So very cool.
That's great. So,
Nice work.
very, very good work, my friends. Good job. So that
Let's
was
see
the
that
last.
shirt again. Let's see that shirt drawing
Yeah.
again.
So I was just gonna say. So this is my latest, like, our latest piece. Well, we just did this in a couple over the weekend there. So Lonnie, we want to check out that. Yeah, there's the
Yeah,
graphic
look at
one.
that.
So that's my pencils, my inks. I came up with that original idea, and my wife scans it in the computer and she colors it and does the whole deal. So that's what's been going on here.
Is
in
that
Machete
going to be a
Studios.
shirt and a hat and everything too, or is that just going to
Well,
be
it's
like?
kind of a rush, right? So
Yeah.
we had a little bit of a rush on this one because their show's on Thursday, and
Hmm.
we started it basically on Friday. Look at that turnover, right? We got it to the
Yeah.
Monday morning, like from a brand new drawing. I should have the pencils here, but I don't. Plus, I don't really want to show you. That's
I want
Gary's
that in a
stuff.
hat. I need Gary to make me a hat of that.
Well, I think that might spin into a few things, you know what I mean, which would be really cool.
Hmm.
The funny thing is when I get a gig like this, like now I'm almost writing a story for that elephant, you know what I mean, like going to gigs
Oh,
and
I
just
know.
like
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
trouncing bands and like wrecking stages and whatever. I just think
Yep.
it's
I hear you, brother.
excuse me. So I had a lot of fun doing that. So that's the latest project that we're working on. I'm at Nexus Comics downtown Kingston this Saturday. I am doing an in-store from 12 till 2 or 3, I believe. Here we go. Yeah, so I'll be at Nexus on the 18th. This February 18th, that's Saturday, and I will be doing a live in-store with my comic books, and I have a special going on where you can get 1, 2, and 3 for $20. All right, and
There
I'm
you
even
go.
gonna, yeah, and the first 3 people who buy the $20 bundles, I'll have more information on all my yeah, and there we can buy it here. You can buy, well, you get it's shipping as well on this one, so right, you can buy it here. But
Sorry.
what I'm talking about right now is being in the store there, because what I'm going to do is if the first 3 people that come in to buy the 1, 2, 3 for $20, I'm going to give you one of my custom covers from Marvel that I've done. I believe there's, oh man, is there a Hulk one possibly? A Star Wars one? Oh man, they're in the other room. I know there's a Fantastic Four one, and so the first 3 people that buy the 3 for $20 downtown at Kingston, downtown at Nexus in Kingston,
Yeah.
we'll get the free comic book. Okay, I got a little flustered there for something.
It happens. Flustering. It happens from time to time. And a little
There's so much.
flustered.
Well, we're so advanced now. There's so much stuff going on our screen. I'm like, holy cow! And then
I know.
I don't
There's all
know.
this
I don't
stuff
know.
going on.
And then the producer was pushing something in my ear to sell, but we'll get to that after. Okay, we'll get to that after.
Sell.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Okay. So what we're gonna let's jump right into the UFOs, my friend. So Gary, cheers. Thank you. That was Elephant. You guys got to check them out in London. Let's hit that show one more time before we move on here. I was like catching my composure. Elephant Thursday, February 16th at Rum Runners, London, Ontario. They'll be opening for a Willem Scream. All right. Cheers. Great band. Check them out. Now, let's run it because we're going to hit this UFO stuff, man. I'm stoked. I can't get enough of that.
It's an exciting time to be us as believers now, isn't it?
Hey man, I think this is our new niche here is the comic books and conspiracy theories. I think they fit well together, and this is one that we just happen to jump right on top of, man. We don't usually tackle current events that are, excuse me, that are like, on top of the whole feeds of everything of the news of the world, but that's what we're doing today, aren't we, my friend?
Yeah, it's funny because Dean had wrote an article about it earlier, and I was like, "Oh, by the way, happy birthday, Dean! Happy 50th
Happy
to
birthday, Dean.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
Dean, you're gonna love it from here on
Yeah,
out, man.
tried to get him
Beautiful.
on today, but I think he's running around.
It's his
But
birthday. That's cool.
yeah, it was funny because I saw a quote earlier today too that was like, from the other side of the vax stance, saying all you people thought we were conspiracy theorists, and now you all believe in aliens. And I was like, well, I never did not believe in aliens. but I did believe in science. So it's like,
Hmm.
I think this is funny. There's more balloons now. It's more balloony things now, but
And that's where
it
we
does.
started, man. They said, "Oh, it's a weather balloon," right? Now we're right
Yeah,
back to where we started, my friend. Okay,
yeah.
hey, man. So I'm going to bring us up to date on what we got here. Okay, so what we had was February. Well, January 28th actually is when that first that weather balloon from China was first seen, right? Remember that way back? See, it
Lonnie, do
seems
you have the
way back
graphic? Do
now,
you have the
right?
graphic from Instagram, Lonnie?
Of the Chinese balloon.
No,
Well,
just the one that when you made that post today. You made a post with all the locations.
no, if you want to see that, you'll have to check out our
Oh,
Instagram.
that's
That's a
right. You
good
gotta
one.
check out our
But
Instagram.
I'm gonna take us. That's what I'm taking us through right now, but
Yeah.
without the graphic, because you want to look at our handsome faces. So we've got the China spy balloon that was spotted January 29th. Okay,
Hmm.
Milani's got that. So we got that spotted. It was shot down on February 4th. Okay, so they waited a while, then they shot it down. Now February 10th comes along. Okay, we've got like 6 days later, the U.S. again shoots down a UFO off of Alaska. All right, now this one's the size of a small car. Okay, now February 11th, the U.S. again. Now the U.S. again shoots down a UFO over Canada, right by the Yukon territories. You know what I mean? There's right like, and this one was a cylindrical shape, and it was smaller
Yeah.
than a balloon and smaller than the other one. Okay,
Yeah.
and we're gonna show Trudeau talking about it as well. Now we've got February 12th. So a day later, February 11th, February 12th, U.S. shoots down. Sorry, just makes me laugh every time U.S. shoots down. UFO over Lake Huron. All right. Um, and this was an octagon shape, this one. So they're all different sizes. And I guess there's one in China today too, but we're not going to touch that because I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about that right now. Okay. So so this is what we've got. We got it all started. They shooting down February 4th, February 10th, February 11th, February 12th. Um, Now I don't know if you want me to dive in here, buddy. Like what? So my first thought is, wow, all of a sudden we can shoot these things down, and three of them in a row.
Well, I think that what's happening is there's two things to this. There's two things to this. That there's a distraction. So I was just looking at
Well, we're gonna get
a
to
recent.
that. Yeah.
There's like this is a distraction, distracting everybody from what's really going on in the world. All that bullshit.
Hmm.
It's funny on the shoot down thing. Um, my whole thing is I don't think you can shoot down a UFO. I'm sorry. I think Independence Day covered that.
Yeah, well, this is what I'm asking you, right? It's like because it doesn't seem strange that we're all of a sudden not only shooting down these UFOs, but all of a sudden we're shooting down like three of them in a row. When you hear like any other kind of stuff that's been out, it's been like, oh my god, it was here, it was there,
Well,
it was the
you
size of
gotta
this,
shoot
and
it down. You gotta shoot it down because you gotta shoot them down now because the pressure from just the internet is why aren't we shooting this down? And of course it came through Canada. Why didn't the Canadians shoot it down? And then NORAD, shoots tracks one over Alaska and they shoot it down.
mm-hmm.
The shoot down to me is just the publicity part. It's like, well, let's get in on the shoot down. Let's get in on the shoot down everything just to appease everybody. But I don't,
Yeah. Well, have you
it's coming
seen?
out that these were all happening during Trump as well, and that never got shot down. So,
Wow,
I mean,
that's what they say, right?
this thing
Yeah.
goes deep.
But
Like,
haven't you seen? Well, yeah. Well, we can't dive. We gotta slowly peel the layers of this thing, right? So, haven't you seen any old footage though? And or you've heard these airplane, any kind of airplane
yeah,
pilot talk about seeing. They're like, dude, it was going this fast and was flying there. There's
sure.
no way we could keep up to it. This is what I'm asking you right now. Is like, so have you seen those clips like that?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
I watched them a ton, and it's funny because they're able to make them now pretty quick and easy too through
Right.
graphic programs. So you don't really necessarily know what wasn't created for the sake of creating something versus what might
Hmm.
have naturally been caught. I think because there's a big thing now about how just easy it is to make them. But
Yeah.
I do think that like just from the classified stuff alone that was declassified and released,
That's where it all
I
started,
think
right?
I think that thanks Tom DeLonge, Blink 182. I think that it it definitely has shown that there are other things flying out there, and I'm if how anyone could not think that there would be. It's just
Right.
the most insane thing in the world to me. So yes, I do. I very much believe in them, in that we're not alone. I very much believe that
Mm-hmm.
it's something. What I don't think these balloons really have anything to do with that. However, it does
Right.
always start the conversation of are we alone?
Yeah,
You
these
know?
just don't seem to line up with any past sightings or any kind of
No.
witnesses. Like they're huge, or they're like moving so quick, and all of a sudden we're like so no, all of a sudden we got this together. It's almost so this the thing that I want. That's the first point that I wanted to make is just that seems a little odd. That seems a little odd to me. The second point that I'm thinking here is the coincidental states of it all, right? That you were going to say the smokescreen stuff that's going on here. Okay, so
Sure.
first I want to talk about that whole aspect of it not being aliens, about the reasons why. Um, Man, I'm thinking, geez, this as soon as I saw this, I didn't have that. Oh my god, wow, these are aliens. I didn't get that vibe from it. You know what I mean? Like, just I don't know. I didn't
Hi,
get that
Kim.
vibe from it.
No, I didn't. Hi, Kim. How are you? Thanks for
Hi, Kim.
watching. Um, no, I didn't get that. I honestly, there was a substantial focus on it being a Chinese spy balloon. Now,
Right.
I don't. What does that mean? I mean,
Hmm.
it doesn't mean. I
Well,
don't
there's
get.
so much going down right now, right? Like,
There's
the
so
Epstein
much.
files are coming out.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that.
Um, have
Yeah,
you? And see, this is I'm really trying to keep this on track to keep it with
yeah.
the
Let's keep it
UFOs,
at
right?
aliens,
But
but yeah,
these are some things that they could be.
sure.
This these could be just doing these for it is to cover this kind of stuff up.
Lost, lost Chris there.
Hey man, how's it going?
Yeah, there you're back.
The other one there is that the train, the Ohio train. You can just leave it at two if you want. That's fine. The Ohio train that crashed. Did you hear about that?
Just saw that tonight.
Okay, now the stuff they're carrying there is redonkulous. Like, why would you be? It's with vinyl chloride or something like that,
Yeah.
or vinyl chlorine. Anyway, it makes acid rain. It makes turns water into acid.
Mhm.
Why would you be transporting that? And then there's the people were getting really sick. I was watching videos on that
Mhm.
today. See, not to this is sidebar that could be smoke screens, right? But man, I was watching videos of dead fish in all over the place, like tons of them, like fish like this big, just like
Yeah.
schools of them. Is that being smoke screened here?
Well,
I
okay,
don't.
I had an interesting conversation with I had an interesting conversation with a production friend of mine when I was in Minnesota.
Hmm.
All right, when I was in Minnesota finishing up the Megadeth tour. No, actually, I think I played there with the last tour I was on.
Uh-huh,
But
uh-huh.
anyways, he came out and he told me that when everyone was talking about nuclear war and everyone was talking about the Russians and the Ukraine and da 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 da, he was mentioning
Hmm.
to me that he's from Minnesota. He's like, well, actually, they wouldn't target, they might target New York as like a here we come, but they're actually going to go after Minnesota, Ohio, and some of these areas up the middle and kind of to the Midwest because nuclear that's where all the nuclear stuff is.
Yeah.
Like that's where all the silos are. That's where all the things are. So it's a
Mhm.
very interesting thing to me that um, that all of these things, I think there are smoke and mirrors, obviously, distracting you from what's really going on in the world. But that's been going on forever.
Oh, it
So
always
again,
is. That's why
I don't get
it's
too
right
caught
on
up.
cue. It's right
It's
on
right on cue.
cue.
Yeah, I don't really get caught too much up in it because I really believe that like for all the people that believe that there's a secret society controlling the world, I also
Mhm.
believe that there's a secret society making sure that it keeps the crazies at bay. So
Mhm.
like I kind of go like, sure, there might be an Illuminati and blah blah blah, but listen,
Right.
there's also enough smart people, hence the people on this call and others around that would be like, no, we're not going to let you get away with that. So
Right.
I just think that there's a lot of weird shit happening. I don't
There's
know if they
also
cover. I don't know if they.
um there's back in oh man was that 1952 the government started something called Project Blue Book, and it was supposed to expose the UFO stuff, but it was headed by Edward J. Ruppelt, and he was the biggest anti-UFO guy going. So the government hired him to go out to talk to all these people and do research on the UFOs, and he was going in there basically to dismember these stories and
Yeah.
go back to the government and put this in Project Blue Book. So it was basically a big smokescreen, this Project
Hmm.
Blue Book. Now they're calling it something new, Blue Cachet or the Blue something, that it could possibly be as another smokescreen going on. That it's just you know, they're just, as I say, they're making these ships, they're throwing them up there, they're shooting them down to smoke screen. One of many things that it could be. I don't see how this is going to distract people from. See, now this is the thing. It could be something to distract you from the Epstein list, but how could it?
No, no, I don't
How
believe
could it?
anything can. I don't believe in today's age anything can distract anything. I
Right,
really don't.
right.
You can put up because the news cycle's 2 days. Like
Hmm.
so, this balloon thing. If we don't see another one, it'll be gone in 2 weeks. And
Right.
then the same with like the yeah, you're gonna have your conspiracy theorists
Hey, Kim.
about the train, but the second that goes away, I mean, look at how fast
Yeah.
it went away in the Ukraine. People don't even really
Hmm.
talk about. They talk about it a little bit now, but now it's on to
Right.
like Sean Penn and other people that are talking about it.
Right.
No one's talking about it, and even the Turkey like earthquake. It's like that's a shame. All right,
Hmm.
what next? Oh, Rihanna was lip syncing. Okay, let's move
Yeah.
on to
And
that.
giving the Illuminati. Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
just kind of one of those things where I'm like nothing will distract anything from anything.
Right.
Like,
Okay.
it
Well,
just won't.
here's another thought. Is it China? Are we on the edge of a new war? Not to freak anybody out, man. That's the last thing I want to do is scare
Well,
anybody.
I'm good if it happens, and you're good. I mean,
What?
we've got Asian
Oh,
minds, so
no, I don't think they're gonna care. Anyway, nice one. But no, no, but you know what I mean? That's the other one, right? Is like, are these ships, are these planes from China, and they are shooting them down, and they're saying, wait, these are UFOs, but actually there's some other country, maybe Russia, who knows what other. I see. I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm trying to scare anybody, but this is another fact, another
I don't
idea
think
that
the
I've
world
researched and found.
benefit. I don't. I understand where everyone's coming from that they think that China's coming for the world, but
Right.
I don't think that it benefits the world at all, including China. Like it just doesn't benefit anybody from
Mhm.
ruling the world. And
Right.
it makes for a great movie,
Yeah.
but it doesn't benefit anybody. It doesn't
Well,
benefit anybody.
well, that's the thing. We don't know what their end game is here because they don't care if it benefits. We don't know it. Like, I don't know, man. See, my mind goes today, as I'm mentioning to you. I was studying today. I was just going
Hmm.
down rabbit holes and
Hmm.
just looking and researching. And I'm so hard to keep just my blinders on just the UFOs because there is so much going on. The one thing though that did really pique my interest is the train wrecks in Ohio. I would urge
Sure.
everybody to research those, the information on that all you can, because there's no reason why the government should be shipping that stuff back and forth. And there was also the union who was on the train running the train had a huge stink about the safety issue on everything, and they
Yeah.
were not allowed to report anything. There was sparks flying on that train for 20 minutes, but they weren't allowed to do anything to stop it. Now, all the stuff in that train, why the hell would you have a product that turns water into acid, Brent? Like, that's scary. What? There's a much bigger story there, my friends. Okay, so
Hmm.
sidebarring that,
Hmm.
everybody look into that Ohio the train wreck. Okay, now those are the smoke. Do you got any more smoke screens you could add? Because I would like to add what I would like it
No,
to be.
because I think there's so much. I mean, there's just too much going on because
Yeah,
there's something going on every single day. So
yeah,
the smoke screen is only good for a day or two.
right.
I mean, people are like putting out. I mean, we've got an active shooter in Michigan tonight. So
Oh wow.
that'll be the news in
Yeah,
the morning about thoughts and prayers, and everyone will forget
yeah,
about fucking Chinese balloons,
right.
and then it'll move on to something else, uh, and then it's almost Oscar time. So we got to get into the
Mm,
Oscars. So I'm just saying it's like every single day there's something new. So I don't I think that it doesn't get anywhere with the smoke screen because people are too
right.
smart now.
Yeah, unless we don't know the end game, right? So
John
can we
Tory.
see?
Sorry, Kim put John Tory with Toronto. Yeah, Kim, I'm trying to get Blundell for mayor trending right now because
Nice.
I
There you
know that
go.
it's gonna fire the whole goddamn place up.
Can we watch Trudeau talking about? Can we watch Trudeau talking about this? Because
Well, we're
I
gonna
man,
show Trudeau on this show. Holy shit!
is that okay?
I don't care.
You scare me with some of this politics stuff because I don't know what upsets people. So sometimes you get me going like, "Am I doing something
Everything
wrong?"
upsets people.
Well, that's
Don't worry
it. Does
about
it
it.
matter? Okay, well then
I'm
don't
in a
say anything
Twitter
about
battle.
it.
I'm in a fun Twitter battle tonight. It's
Okay, well
good.
I don't. I'm not in the game. So sometimes I feel like I might be getting the channel in trouble here of doing stuff. But showing Trudeau's okay, right? I guess it's just
Oh, you know what's funny? Ryan Lindley just posted.
yeah.
unidentified object
Wait.
was ordered to be shot
Where we
down
at?
by Prime Minister Justin over the Yukon.
What's coming
yesterday.
in?
This is the 4th interception by American.
I just,
shooters
you know,
this
we
month.
need somebody, those
The
people who
latest
does the
from
body
Kevin
language
Gallagher.
examinators. I watch those guys. Okay, here we go.
The unidentified object a U.S. fighter jet took down over the Yukon has been studied, according to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
This evening I'll be sitting down with Indigenous leaders, including those from the areas potentially affected by the shoot. And I'll be sitting down with the Premier of Yukon tomorrow to talk about how we continue to work together to ensure that Canadian sovereignty is safe.
What's being described as a cylindrical object was
Okay.
shot down over Yukon territory.
So yeah, it's like
afternoon.
99 red
Similar to the
balloons. Nope, 98 red balloons. Here's my point. Here, now check this out, dude. You just found a UFO. You just shot down and found, and you're just about to go and see what you found. Are you?
Yeah.
No,
I
he does
don't know.
not. No, dude. Okay. How can you? There was no glimmer of excitement, dude. You are about to see a UFO. Has anybody else not picked up on his reaction to going to find out about UFOs? Either it's bullshit, or he's seen this a million times. There's no way a human being, or third, he's a clone. He's under. There's no way a human being reacts to this that way. If anybody else has picked up on that, especially like Dean or some of the guys from the show have picked up on his demeanor.
Well, I'm trying to get
heard
Ryan.
anybody talk
I'm trying to
about
get
that,
Ryan
right? Like-
right now because I'm trying to get Ryan at this second because Ryan
Okay.
just posted a link to what exactly you were just talking about in Ohio.
Right. Oh, did he mention that too? That he wasn't
Yeah,
explain-
absolutely. So I'm trying to get. I've just sent Ryan a note. Ryan,
Well, that's all
Linley,
right.
if you're watching, we need you on the show, buddy. So
Okay.
I'm just gonna put that there and get him on and see if I can. At
It's
the very
clipping and
least, I'm
clipping
gonna,
and clipping.
What's that?
Just getting that clipping going on again.
I'm clipping.
I don't know. It's clipping. You got your phone going?
No.
Okay, good.
I'm
okay,
gonna
so
try
anyway,
to
okay.
get, I'm gonna try
Okay,
to
that's great.
get him on right now if I can. So if you got to go with something for a minute because I'm trying to get him because
Okay, I'm trying to. So what I was gonna say here, you're giving everybody the track report. Okay. So
Yeah.
what I was gonna keep moving on here and saying is what I would like it to be. I would love this if this was like the Anunnaki coming back and they were sending down scouts just to see how stupid we were. Now that would blow my mind. If that's what I would like this to be. Come on back. Because the Anunnaki are the ones that, in the ancient aliens theories and all that, they're the ones that were supposed to have started everything. We had the giants that started everything, and they weren't proper. They were taking advantage of the situation. So the Anunnaki gods were sent down to clear out the giants. Well, hey, guess what? They fell in love with the pretty girls. So they stayed with the pretty girls. So there had to be an intervention. The Anunnaki gods had to leave. They were told, you're not supposed to stay. You're supposed to leave. So as the ancient alien theory goes, they are coming back eventually. They said they are coming back. Just like Jesus said, I am coming back. So I would love it if this was in my comic book out of the box mind, would love this to be the Anunnaki coming back. And they're checking out the situation first. I know it's probably, like, chances of this are like 0.0001. I know. But you can tell. See, I'm smiling because then Trudeau, nothing. See, this isn't going to happen. But I'm just envisioning how awesome it would be if they actually did come back and they were just slowly checking out how stupid everybody was. Because that's what you would do.
Well, that's what
That's
I
what
love
you
that.
would
And
do.
I love that theory about in the ancient aliens side of it too, which is
Yeah.
we're gonna come check it out. Which is rumored of what they did with the giants, and then they came and they were like, the giants thing is not working. They're
Yeah.
too big because
We
the
gotta take
trees
'em
only
out.
grow so far. We got to take them out, and they started over again.
Well, they
All
were
great.
eating the other humans too. They
Yeah, yeah.
weren't like it was bad, man.
that awesome?
Really bad.
I just sent Lindley just told me he's going to join, which is awesome.
Great.
And I'm uploading his tweet, so we're going to get to some DC stuff. But this is topical because we just talked about it 8 seconds ago. This is on the job or on the spot reporting, friends.
Nice.
But
Well, see, the one thing is I the same thing I do with comics. I don't read anybody's reviews on a subject until I talk about it at least once live. Because
Yeah.
remember, I mentioned that with the comic book. So that's just me and Ryan being like two brains that drink alike right there. That's some rad stuff. I like that.
I just sent him a link, so I'll play
That's
his.
okay.
I'm
So
gonna-
let's keep talking here. We got
yeah,
this.
sure.
You want to see the
Yeah.
first explosion?
Yeah, let's see it. Check this out, dude. We got some more footage of things being blown up. You also have like
Which one's this one?
this is the
first one.
this is the first one. All right. And what I want to tell you is It's shot down by an F-16 Sidewinder.
Yeah, which is cool.
AIM 9X missiles, right?
Who didn't want to fly a jet when we were in public school?
Tell me about it, right? And all the things these guys driving these jets have seen, like that. I don't know.
That looks like the Challenger from 1985.
Yeah. So there's like no footage of these other ones being shot down, correct?
No.
Okay,
Well,
that's
the one over Canada there was some footage of the one over Canada.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. Okay. Well, this is better footage. What do we got here? Okay. Wow, is that the jet that's gonna shoot it down?
No, that's just a jet. That's like a.
The U.S. downs a third unidentified object.
That looks like a passenger jet. Because there's all the people that believe in those chemtrails and all that shit too.
Oh, okay. Well, this is supposed to be something shot down. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, that chemtrails is another one I saw people talking about the other day. Flying object. Oh, this is over Lake Huron, apparently. Okay. Is that it there?
There's Ryan.
Okay. We're calling for them objects, not balloons, for a reason. Oh,
buddy.
oh.
Whoa, look at that.
Well, that's a balloon, but it's so much like the Roswell back in the video. It's a weather balloon. No, it's not. Okay, the object was octagonal in structure and unmanned. That's from the Times Network. I don't know. Is that a good source? I don't know.
Larry Network. Hey, Ryan.
Anyway. Hey, buddy. How's it going?
Good. How are you guys?
Excellent, Ryan. So did you actually? You were watching Trudeau, and you were like, "Why are you not excited?" Or
no, I'm talking about the Ohio thing. I've actually
got Ohio thing.
I've got his tweet. I'm gonna play his tweet, Lonnie. I've put it in the thing, but I want to put Ryan's tweet up because we literally were just talking about.
Yes. No, I was. Yes.
Talking about the Ryan. How we got there is we were talking about the alien thing, but then is it a distraction from what's actually going on around the world? You know how every week.
And I thought that if there was a distraction, that is the craziest one, because why are they bringing this stuff on a train? Why was the union not allowed to do anything about it? This train was sparking.
However, I did just see a headline, Ryan. It said Palestinian living part of Ohio.
No, it's Palestine, Ohio.
Yeah, that's just the name of the town.
So it wasn't a.
No. It's not a race thing.
That's great. Okay, good to know.
So Ryan, what do you got on that, buddy? I'd like to hear some more if you got anything on that.
All right. So it's funny. Don't ISO me, by the way. I don't like that. I didn't. I wasn't paying attention to it much because the distraction must have worked, right? Yeah. But this is what I used to deal with in my old previous grown-up job was hazardous waste and spills and mitigation of those. And I was just telling my wife, I said, it's funny when you hear the word vinyl chloride, in the job that I did, you winced, you kind of shuddered. You went, oh, okay. And then you knew that it was level A suits, self-contained breathing apparatus, everything that you needed to deal with this stuff. The OSHA limit for vinyl chloride for exposure for an 8-hour shift is 1 part per million. You're dealing with 5 tanker cars now that are filled with this stuff that they have intentionally let just burn. And some people, they will have you believe that it's a great thing. Good. Let it, we're mitigating this disaster by burning this hazardous waste. Mm-hmm. Well, problem is when you burn vinyl chloride, by the way, when in a liquid form, boils at 8 degrees Fahrenheit. That's how unstable this shit is. Like, it's
8
insane,
degrees.
right? 8 degrees Fahrenheit. So when it comes out, it just becomes a gas, and it just expands and goes into the air. And okay, so now we have vinyl chloride in potentially hundreds of thousands of parts per million. And people that ignored the warnings to evacuate, I don't want to know what's going to happen to those folks.
Yeah.
But they've downplayed it. And like this has such a rabbit hole of political interference and lobby groups, and I sound like a crazy nut coming. And
no, you don't actually.
This is the conspiracy corner of the
Not
show.
to me, you
know
don't.
me. Yeah, but you know me.
I know that.
I am the least fucking conspiracy-driven guy, and this is not a conspiracy because it's all actually like on paper. You can just go read it. Go Google it right now. Go Google why that train derailed.
Can I've actually got the video clip from your twit Can I play it? And then
Sweet.
Yeah, for
let's
sure.
play it. Ready?
Yeah, this is
Hasn't been getting a lot of coverage, and the coverage that it has been getting hasn't been very good. So let's talk about the trail derailment in East Palestine, Ohio. East Palestine's about an hour north of Pittsburgh, almost halfway to Cleveland. Norfolk Southern has a rail line that goes right through town, and this derailment happened right on the edge outside of town on the border of PA and Ohio. Of the cars that crashed, 5 of them contained vinyl chloride. It's a monomer used to make PVC. The reporting on this has gotten vinyl chloride confused with polyvinyl chloride, the polymer made out of vinyl chloride. Now, the reason that this distinction is really important is vinyl chloride is very hazardous and very flammable. Polyvinyl chloride is a plastic that's used in like everything. The other thing about vinyl chloride is that it boils at 8 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's shipped in its liquid form. Meaning that when these trains crashed and these started leaking, they weren't just leaking liquid, but they were spewing boiling gas. So vinyl chloride is really toxic. OSHA has the permissible limit of how much you can be exposed to it during an 8-hour shift as a 1 ppm part per million, average over 8 hours. So prior to this, the biggest spill of this chemical was in New Jersey, where 1 train car and about 23,000 gallons of vinyl chloride were spilled, but it didn't catch on fire. Now, this crash in Ohio has 5 train cars. These kinds of tanker cars can carry between 25 and 33,000 gallons. Let's call it 250 to 250,000 pounds of vinyl chloride. That's per train car, 5 train cars. There's maybe 1 million pounds of this toxic chemical spilling into the ground and also boiling off into the air. But then it caught on fire. I think this is where the reporting is really bad because no one is mentioning what the byproduct of vinyl chloride burning is. Of the many byproducts of burning vinyl chloride, one of them is hydrogen chloride. Hydrogen chloride is really unstable and latches onto water, like just water vapor in the atmosphere, and that turns into hydrochloric acid. So right now, government officials from the railroad, both the governor of Pennsylvania and Ohio are calling burning off the 1 million pounds of this stuff a success, but not mentioning that it means that we have hundreds of thousands of pounds of acid in the air, potentially. Now, ever since engineering school, I've studied a lot of industrial accidents. I just find it really fascinating, and organizations like the Chemical Safety Board, NTSB, and OSHA all have like really good reports available to the public. I think as a designer, it's really good to learn about mistakes. When looking at these kinds of industrial disasters across time, there are
Crazy.
Wow.
so that's not the craziest part. This didn't have to happen. This entire train accident didn't have to happen.
Right.
This has come out over the weekend as well. I guess during the Obama administration, they had asked to tighten the guidelines, safety guidelines for rails across the entire nation. So engineers from, different safety guys like this guy that are talking, these engineers that are just designed to write law for OSHA, came up with a braking system. They found a braking system that was developed that could have stopped this train before it crashed. And it was mandated, federal law. Everybody was going to have this. And then our other friend became a president. The lobby groups got a hold of him and said, this is going to be too expensive. We don't want to do this. So in his effort to cut all that red tape, they squashed the law that would have had those brakes on that train. That train would have never crashed if they had the brakes that were...
Best crash ever.
Yeah. So now they've essentially chemically nuked, and I'm not saying that fun or I'm not being alarmist. They've chemically nuked an entire town with vinyl chloride. And I'm telling you, it is when I did my training in hazardous waste and hazardous like the emergency response shit that we do, or I did, I should say. One of the examples is vinyl chloride. Because it's so dangerous, like it's so crazy, like it's not just, it's just some people hear chloride, oh, it's chlorine, it's just like it's nothing, it's a component that goes into making plastics. Jeez. And people get it mixed up with poly, and poly is a totally different thing. Like it's essentially harmless. Poly's in everything that we use, polyvinyl chloride, right? But vinyl chloride itself in its form that it is, that's one of the most dangerous substances that goes on your, and you see them, and if you look up you see those placards, those diamond placards on like trucks and on train cars, look those up. I know it sounds like a geek thing to do, but when you're sitting stopped at a train, waiting for a train to go by, and you see those big, crazy fucking signs, Google those numbers every once in a while, and you'll see just how much vinyl chloride actually passes you as you're sitting there.
There's a new traveling game. See what kind of toxic crap is around you.
Right. It used to be like
Screw the license plates.
Yeah. So do it that way, and you'll see that this shit is around you constantly, and a leaky valve, it could be a mishandle with transfer of product, or in worst case scenario, a disaster like East Palestine, Pennsylvania.
Ryan, do we think that this was an actual legit accident?
Yeah.
Or is this another distract? This is a legit accident, but
See, I think you have it in reverse.
right.
I think the balloons are the distraction from the fucking absolute natural disaster that's happened in Pennsylvania, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I
but
thought.
when
It's a
was that? When
distraction
was
for
that crash? When was that crash?
Thursday or Friday, I believe.
Right. So I missed.
three
I'm
days
at
ago.
the
Yeah.
motorcycle. I missed that part of it actually for a bit. But yes, we were talking about
Timing is
distractions.
Good.
Distractions.
Yeah. Well, see, what I was saying was that I thought there could have been. Well, there was two of them we were talking about, right, Brent? And one of them was was this, which I thought the train derailment dealie and all that, because my main question is, why do you have that, and why is there so much of it around, and where is it going? What are you doing?
It's a very
with it?
common product. It's a very common byproduct in plastics manufacturing, right? And we're so dependent on plastic. We need this stuff. And I'm not saying that it's perfectly safe when handled well. Any dangerous substance is. Nuclear is perfectly safe when it's handled well. When we have this, we have tools and we have guidelines and we have protocol to handle those things. When we start throwing those out the window to pad bottom lines because it's costing too much to handle it properly, that's when you have exactly what we just saw, and that's what we're witnessing in.
So is this going to
Pennsylvania.
turn into okay? So then we'll let you go in a minute here because we're going to get into some nerdy stuff. But does this now become like this was Trump's fault problem versus like, oh, that's just without getting too political here, but that's just the Biden administration trying to distract, blah blah blah, or is this like whose fault is it? Like what happens here?
Well,
Ryan?
it's
right. Like what happens? Who
it's-
gets blamed for this?
It's lawmakers. It's a lawmaker problem. I'm trying to wheel it around in my head how to make it not political, but it's totally political. The entire thing is it's politically it's politically driven. It's the willful negligence in favor of capitalism, and we all know it's on paper, like it's there. The law was made, and then the law was repealed. The law was made by one, the law was repealed by another. I'm not saying that Donald Trump went out and fucking took the thing off the tracks.
Sure.
But this wouldn't have happened if those safety mechanisms were on that train. And that's why they put it on, is because they know that hundreds of millions of pounds of this stuff travels the country every single year. Like our country as well, not just America. This is a North America thing. It's a worldwide product, right? But they said we need to safeguard that. Everybody yells about infrastructure. The biggest the infrastructure debt in the U.S. is trillions of dollars. Stuff like this was to mitigate it. Do you know how much this was going to cost? You know what this is going to cost?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
To repair, right? Like that's an entire. Remember Aaron Brockovich? Remember that movie?
Yeah.
This is like the Care Bears countdown compared to Aaron Brockovich, and Aaron Brockovich was massive. Like so, you watch the fallout that we're going to see. And don't listen. And I'm going to tell anybody that's watching the show or listening on a podcast, ignore and I don't care what side of the bench they're on. Ignore the politicians when they're talking about this wreck. I want you to go and find guys. Twitter is loaded with actual experts in this field. Go find people. Go read actual peer-reviewed papers on it. Do your own. I hate saying do your own research because you sound like
do your own. You should though. You should see that was the thing. Like, we kind of changed I think we found our niche here, my friend, and it's comic books and conspiracy theories. And conspiracy theories are going to dive into a little bit of political stuff. As long as we keep that out of the comic books. I don't like political stuff in the comic books now. Like you got to have this many of this person and this person. Like write a good story, and I'm happy. Conspiracy theories, man. We're gonna have to talk politics, and I'm ready for it.
Well,
I want to get smarter, right? I really want to learn. I want to learn as much as I can about this stuff.
So we got Ryan Lindley on the
You
show.
know what you do? You know what you do? Ignore politicians.
Yeah, definitely. Right? I
Entirely,
agree.
100%, including anybody that goes on TV and says their name is Dr. So and so, and they are a member of Parliament or they are some sort of government Don't just go and find the actual people that do the job. You know, like why have we put so much of stock into somebody that just got elected to go up and talk in front of a microphone to serve somebody else's purpose, right? Yeah. So. Yes, do your own research, but in a smart way. Don't form a narrative. Don't say I think this is all Donald Trump's fault, so I'm going to search why did Donald Trump crash the train. That's not research. Research what was in the train. Why did the train crash? Like I'm telling, like there's ways to non-bias, like unbiasedly search and do these kind of things. And then you'll find out sometimes the liberals are at fault. Sometimes the conservatives are at fault. They're always at fault.
Yeah, they are. There's smoke screens. They're never doing what they're saying, man. And
that's it.
And that's it. I really like getting into like my hero is Stanley Kubrick, right? So last week we did the Eyes Wide Shut, and I could have went on forever about that movie.
That was great, by the way.
Brilliant.
I had no idea. I've seen that movie a few times, and after hearing you guys talk about it, I've never looked at it that way. And then that one scene in the toy, like I had no preconception. I'm like, holy shit, were they trying to tell us something?
Yeah. And he was trying to get that going 30 years before it was made. Like I say, he wanted to be Woody Allen and what's her name there first, right? Yeah. Great. But that kind of stuff really.
It was not Mia Farrow. It was their kid. What was the kid's
name?
No,
it was Mia Farrow and Woody.
They
tried to get Mia Farrow and Woody before.
That's right. Yeah.
And then it was Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones, or Kirk Douglas. When I keep getting them mixed up. Michael. Yeah. And then we settled.
Would have been way more. I mean, it would have added more to it if it was Kirk.
Yeah, that
Come here, you. Come over here, Catherine. Come on now. My son tells me you're good in the sack. Let's do this.
I got some smooches, baby.
That's right. Did you see that movie, Spartacus? I want to show you Cockamus.
Spartacus.
You're Spartacus, baby.
So if you got a couple of minutes on coffee breaks this week, everybody, make sure you look into the story, because it seems like, it was just a train derailment. Everybody kind of evacuated. They're saying, I think it was about 500 people locally that stayed, which my heart breaks for them because they don't know.
That's how the Walking Dead starts, my man.
Yeah. Well, I heard about kids with their eyes look like those little red tomatoes that you get.
Yeah.
They're just like, that's not good.
Well, you heard that engineer, and it's exactly everything he said is absolutely true. When vinyl chloride burns, it turns into potentially, once mixed with water, because it bonds with water, that gas bonds with water, becomes hydrochloric acid.
So what you're saying is he's a scientist, engineer, and we should listen to him.
Yeah, right.
And he's not connected to the government. Yes.
There you go.
He doesn't have an agenda or anybody to serve.
That we know, Ryan. Dun, 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 dun.
Well, I'm glad we could shed some light on that tonight. I got information,
buddy.
and again, like I say, man, I am all about learning and getting smarter. I want my mind to be a little more dangerous than it is, and I appreciate that, Ryan. That was
thanks for coming on and so short notice, but just was exactly what we were talking about when I saw your post.
Beautiful.
So.
I always tell people my real grown-up job is so fucking boring until shit like this happens, and it's
until stuff like this happens.
I got something to say.
Now you want people, we'll let you go, but you want people to research and stuff on their lunch breaks, but I want them to listen to the Lens Report on their lunch breaks.
Oh, we'll be covering this.
That's
sure
right.
This
week.
Good.
Absolutely.
Check that out. It's rad. And also a Sunday night story time about Anthony Bourdain from a couple weeks ago on another show. You should check that out.
That guy you had on the show, he was a dick.
Yeah, he's a dick. Thanks, buddy. Hi, your wife.
Cheers, my friend. We'll talk to you soon.
We'll talk to you soon. Thanks, man. Well, how about that?
That was helpful as hell. That was great.
That's some real-time reporting right there, by the way.
That was great. Well, I love this new format. Comic books and conspiracy theories. It clicks. It's like... So unfortunately, we're not going to talk about the sports anymore, but let's dive right into the comic books part of it, because this is DC. And this trailer looks amazing, but there's a little conspiracy theory hook to this one too, with the star. So
Lonnie, I've got the. Do you want to do? How do you want to do it? With us watching it, or I've got the full screen version down in the video clips. You want me to?
Tell me something. You can go anywhere. Another timeline. Another universe. So why do you want to stay and fight to save this one? Because this is the world where my mom lives. I'm not gonna lose her again.
Time has a pattern that it can't help reliving. Different people, different worlds, drawn to each other like magnets.
It's my face. You stole my face.
If you were to go into the past, you have no idea what the consequences can be.
Bruce, I could fix things.
You could also destroy everything.
This can't be happening. I completely broke the universe.
Sorry.
We've been waiting for you.
I created a world with no metahumans. And now there's no one to defend us.
Want some help?
You are?
Yeah. I'm Batman.
If I can't undo what I did, if I can't get back, there might not be a future. What's the play? Batman, what do we do?
We try not to die.
It's not Clark.
My name is Kara.
I'm Barry. We're Barry. Barry, what are you doing? Our kids are gonna want to see this.
Yeah, that looks great, huh?
So when you put out a trailer like that,
Yeah.
it really makes everybody kind of forgive James for canning everybody and starting over. Because if this is the beginning,
That's how you begin it with the
then
Flash,
this is,
man.
This
That's
is how you begin it,
do
right? And I really think that because people were just like, this is crazy, and there's no Superman anymore, and blah blah blah. But now he's got. I'd written an article saying that there was 2 Batmans, but I think the jury's out that there's 3 because I think that's Bale on the bike.
Oh, probably. I thought I saw a little something saying that they saw Bale in it as well.
Yeah,
They're
so that
very
would be
Spider-Man-ish, huh?
It is very Spider-Man-ish, I guess, and they're on the attack for that because it's like you're gonna get all these guys in. But it is a very interesting beginning, or re-beginning of everything, based on what his plan is, which was all the like he does the Guardians of the Galaxy and is the hero of the MCU, but then comes over on this side, and his plan to restart DC with like all these backstories. I think he's an even bigger DC fan than he is anything. I mean, he made the best DC film so far, I think, outside of The Dark Knight with the new Suicide Squad. But
I don't know. Is that
the one with the one they just did with Cena and everybody? That was great.
I don't know if I've watched that.
The new one with it's really violent and evil. It's very Deadpool-y, restricted-ish kind of.
Is it available on Netflix?
Yeah, it should be on there. And Suicide, it's really really good, and it really unfortunately is not going to tie in either because he probably just made that as a one-off, thinking whatever. But
right,
but
and that Shazam movie, movie's not cutting in with anything.
It's coming in. Yeah, Shazam's going to tie in.
Okay. Do we have the timeline there? Did you have the timeline, buddy?
I do have this whole thing. We need a couple minutes, but we'll go over tonight. Here we go.
Everybody, I'm James Gunn. I'm the co-CEO of DC Studios. So as many of you know, DC has been disconnected in film and television for a long time. And it's one of, our jobs, mine and Peter's, is to come in and make sure the DCU is connected in film, television, gaming, and animation. That the characters are consistent, played by the same actors, and it works within one story. And if something is outside of that, like Matt Reeves' Batman or Todd Phillips' Joker or Teen Titans Go, that it is clearly labeled as DC Elseworlds, outside of the mainstream DCU continuity. Now, Peter and I have gotten pretty lucky in terms of the 4 projects that are coming out over the next year. First, we have Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Shazam has always been off kind of in his own part of the DCU, so he connects very well. That moves directly into The Flash, a fantastic movie that I really love that resets the entire DC universe. And then to move into Blue Beetle, a fantastic film about a kid who's a marvelous part of the DCU, and then into Aquaman 2, which leads directly into our next few projects, which I'm going to tell you about now. So, Peter and I, along with a group of very talented writers, have started to map out an 8 to 10 year plan of what DC Studios will be in film, television, and gaming. This first chapter is called Gods and Monsters. Now, this, what I'm about to tell you, is a part of the first chapter. It's not the entire first chapter. The first project is Creature Commandos. Creature Commandos is an animated series. I've written all the episodes. Something we're going to do that's a little bit different at DC is we're going to have characters move into animation, out of animation, usually having the same actor play their voice as who plays them in live action. The next project up is Waller. This is a story of Amanda Waller, played by Viola Davis. Viola Davis is going to team up with members of Team Peacemaker, and this is a story that's been created by Crystal Henry, who did Watchmen, and Jeremy Carver, who created the Doom Patrol. It is a fantastic story that's out of this world, and I can't wait for people to see it. Okay, next up is the big one, the true beginning of the DCU. This is called Superman Legacy. This is being written by me. I'm in the middle of it. I'm having a great time doing it. And Superman will be released into theaters July 11th, 2025. Okay, the next thing is a big premiere HBO television series called Lanterns. This is a story of a couple of Green Lanterns, John Stewart and Hal Jordan, and we have a few other Lanterns peppered in there, but this is really a terrestrial-based TV show, which is almost like True Detective with a couple of Green Lanterns who are space cops watching over Precinct Earth. In it, they discover a terrifying mystery that ties into our larger story of the DCU. Next is a big movie called The Authority. The Authority is a passion project of mine. It's based on the marvelous Wildstorm characters we are now bringing into the DCU and will interact with all of our primary DCU characters. The Authority are a group of superheroes who think the world is broken and they want to fix it by any means necessary. I think it's a very different look at superheroes. We're doing a television series called Paradise Lost. Paradise Lost is the story of Paradise Island, usually known as Themyscira, which is the birthplace of Wonder Woman. It's almost like Game of Thrones with Westeros, but with all of the inhabitants of Paradise Island. The introduction of the DCU's Batman is The Brave and the Bold. The Brave and the Bold is the story of Batman and his actual son, Damian Wayne. This is based on Grant Morrison's great comic book run. Damian Wayne is my favorite Robin. He's a little assassin who Batman tries to get in line, and so this is the story of the two of them and the beginning of sort of the Bat family in the DCU. Next up is a TV series called Booster Gold. Booster Gold is one of comics' really popular cult heroes. He is a fascinating guy. He's a loser from the future who uses future technology to come back to present day and become a superhero so that people will love him. It is basically the superhero story of imposter syndrome on an HBO Max series. One of my favorite comic book series from last year was Tom King's run on Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. And so we're going to turn that into a big science fiction epic film. Now, Superman is a guy who was sent to Earth and raised by loving parents, whereas Supergirl in this story, she is a character who was raised on a chunk of Krypton. She watched everybody around her perish in some terrible way, so she's a much more jaded character. And that brings me to Swamp Thing, the last thing we're going to talk about. A very dark horror story in the origins of the monster who is Swamp Thing. And although it's totally outside of the rest of the DCU, it will still feed into the rest of the stories. Anyway, those are the stories that I can...
Nice. Well, you know what, dude? There's a lot of characters in there that people don't know anything about, which is this is a cool spot to end like part 1 of this. I think we should jump into this next time because I think people. Do you know anything about Booster Gold?
I don't.
See what I mean? And how about Blue Beetle? How about Blue Beetle?
No.
Right. So I think I need some time here to bring some.
Sure.
And plus, I got this whole. Man, where's Lobo? Where's Lobo, dude?
That's weird that he didn't bring it up, and after you brought it up.
Especially after I brought it up.
After you brought it up, I was waiting for that. However, he could keep a trick or two in the bag.
Oh, he could, because rumor has it that the old Aquaman's switching over to play Lobo, right? What's his name there? That rad
Jason
dude.
Momoa. Yeah.
Jason Momoa. Nobody talks bad about Jason Momoa. That dude's rad dude. So anyway, I think that's a good spot to end it, buddy, because I think if we hit right off the bat. And I want to dive into some of these characters and tell some
good
people
stuff
who they are,
there,
because there's a lot of people. And Swamp Thing, I don't think anybody knows about that. The DC Swamp Thing, maybe
And Batman, the Batman, starting this whole new Batman thing with his
who's
kid.
playing Superman? Okay, so this is going to be a good one for next week, my friend. That was good. What a great episode, man. That was awesome.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Fast and Furious without the shitty movie. It was good. It was good. All right, so you've got some cool stuff happening. I got to show this again because it's really great.
Thank you. Very cool. Very cool.
The coolest thing. I need Gary, if you're watching or if you're listening,
Gary
you need to
Beckner?
make a hat of that. Thank you. You
Very
need to make a hat of that.
We have one more clip I think we want to show. And this will end on this, buddy. This is probably what's going on with the aliens. All right, dudes.
All right, let's see it.
Lonnie's just gonna let me know. Lonnie, give me the countdown when it's gonna come on. This is what I think is probably going on. We ready? All right, here we go.
Well, mister, I don't want to go to summer camp. Did you have a good time?
Oh, it was really great, Dad. Did you have a good trip?
Nah, usual. Comets, meteorites, space junk. Boy, it's a mess out there.
Sorry, Dad. Where's Mom?
She making a big fuss over you. She make your favorite, hot gnabs.
Bye, Meathead. Bye,
On your shirt, what means this meathead?
Huh? Beats me, Dad.
Uh-huh. So, meathead, you and Mama want to stop off to the Crab Nebula for some seafood?
Are you ready for the summer? I think that's probably what's really going on, folks. We got nothing to worry about. It's Meathead. He's just here on his summer vacation.
Finally.
Yeah. All right. Rad. Good times.
Rad dudes.
All right. Cheers, everybody.
Thanks
to
everybody.
Crier Media.
Thanks to Crier Media. Thanks to Ryan Lindley for giving us some on-the-spot reporting. Thank you,
I
sir.
love that stuff. Beautiful. Peace
Rock
and
and
love.
roll.
Check him out.
All right. Bye.